Hi FS575, this is RVindas from Group 2, and this presentation is going to walk you through progress from the measure phase of my course project, which is to decrease grocery spending. So as a recap of a problem statement and the project goal, problem statement is our family spends too much on groceries for our size, which are 2 adults, a dog, and 2 cats, and the needs that we have. So you can see 3 of the perpetrators on the left-hand side of the screen there. And our average grocery cost now is $770 per month. That is $430 per meal per person, taking into account 2 adults, 3 meals per day, 30 days per month on average. And our goal for this project is to reduce grocery spending in our family by 40%. That reduction would be about $300 per month or $170 per person per meal, putting us at about $475 per month, or cost per person per meal at $260. So that does seem pretty lofty right now, especially showing you the data moving forward, but we're hoping we can reach that. So for this phase of the project, I did come up with a data collection plan, and what I wanted to accomplish was set that baseline, identify those major contributors to excessive spending. So I used 3 different metrics and quality tools to do this. So first, I used an IMR control charts. So I used store receipts and bank transactions from the past 32 weeks to add up those grocery expenses per week and plotted those on the IMR control charts. And I used IMR because we only have 1 sample per subgroup, and that's our weekly grocery spending. We only go grocery shopping once per week. So each subgroup is going to be 1 week. And then the second that I used was I used a check sheet. So I itemized my different weekly receipts just to identify those various grocery categories that we have. And then I just checked off when the totals for each category fell within different $10 ranges. So unfortunately, I have a really bad habit of throwing away my receipts. So I only had about 3 weeks worth of me being diligent and keeping my receipts so I could do this analysis. So my time frame for these last 2 metrics are going to be shorter than the first. And then the third one, so I used a Pareto diagram to take those itemized expenditures that I had from the check sheet exercise to just be able to see like a quantitative visual of how much the totals actually were in each category. So here is the eye chart. So each subgroup number again represents 1 week, and our average spend per week is $176.31. That's our central line, CL, X bar. So as you can see, the calculated upper action limit and upper warning limit are way higher than we really want to be, but this gives us a good visualization of, given historical data, where's our process really at right now. So half of our data points are above the central line and the other half are below. You can also see that 1 point gets really close to the upper warning limit. So we may have had a get-together, we may have had some sort of attributable cause there, but because I didn't keep my receipts, I really don't know. And then we also notice a different trend on this. So typically after we spend a lot and stock up, we'll spend less the following week. So you can see that trend here and here, weeks 3 and 4, and then here and here again in weeks 11 and 12. So you can see that throughout the entire control chart really. Right, so then for the MR chart, we're looking at the actual moving range of the spending. So it shows you the dollar amount range between the weekly spending. You can see that we have a lot of big variability, even with some points exceeding the upper warning limit and the lower warning limit. So you can see those here. This does show that our spending week per week isn't consistent, which makes sense because that's life. Our needs change and things happen. But we do need to focus on what's driving this variability and how we can decrease it and understand what is really contributing to it so that we can hopefully decrease our spending. And then here you can see an example of the check sheet. So I made 3 of these in total, 1 for each week, but this is for week 1. So you can see right off the bat that meat and seafood is the highest spending category for this specific week. And then we had another much lower spending in other categories like produce, condiments, breakfast foods, things like that. But as you can see, these little dollar amounts add up, and if in these we could easily be spending somewhere between $44 to $80 just in these 4 categories here. So the check sheet's great. I really used it to get an understanding of how the categories broke down in terms of different spending and see which buckets we're spending in, but it didn't give me a good visual quantitative view, so I did put the totals from the itemization into a Pareto diagram. So you can see that here, again, meat and seafood, it really does take the bulk of our grocery spending here, about $150 within a 3-week time frame spent here. We also spend quite a bit on produce, things like meal subscription boxes like Blue Apron, dairy, and eggs. So really want to focus on the categories where we're spending about $20 or more in during this time frame to see if we can whittle those down. So here they are. They're things like snacks, hygienic materials, breakfast foods. So can we whittle these down to get to our savings goal? So next steps, what are our questions that we want to answer? So what's the root cause? Really, that's the $1,000,000 question. Why are we spending so much? We really feel like we shouldn't be. Why does a large amount of spending occur in each of those categories we identified? And how can we reduce the amount of spending in each category? So you can see the timeline here. Define phase is complete, measure phase is complete, and moving on to the analyze and improve phase of the project. So here, again, root cause is a $1,000,000 question. So we're going to be determining that, developing a plan for improvement, and then implementing that plan. And then to complete the project, again, at the end of the semester, be reviewing that improvement plan progress, determining a plan for continuous improvement, because really that's where we want to be, and then summarizing our results as well. Thank you.